Hey, what's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2018 Fantasy Career Mode here with Alfa Romeo. We're here for the start of the next season now, and we're building our car. In the last episode, we ended it off at this screen with 86 million in the bank here, and we have to choose our different components for next year's car. Obviously, quite an important thing, because the foundation of the entire season is, based upon these choices. So looking through the comments of what you guys were saying, and then also just fiddling around myself, having a look at the bottom right here, seeing the estimated output, you can see we've managed to get 5-star tire wear, 5-star fuel efficiency, 5-star improvability, and near enough 5-star tire heating. Just a tiny bit off there, but tire heating's never been the biggest issue out of these four for us. So just nearly 5-star. Plus, you have to remember there will be a possibility that we get email dilemma. That basically the HQ guy, the head of our design team, is gonna email us about maybe a dilemma of adding 1+ to tire heating or something like that for amount of money or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. But engine supply, I'll talk you through the car basically. So engine supply, we're going for a V8 turbo with very strong 52+ bait stat modifier. It's not the highest we can go for. The highest is technically a V6 turbo, but this gives us the very strong improvability and very strong fuel efficiency. So overall, it's going to be better in terms of the actual stats here. The base stat though will be a little bit down, but I'm hoping that's not going to be too much of a huge factor. But I think I'd rather get kind of the higher stats here. It is going to be the most expensive part of the car and the most expensive engine, but there you go, V8 turbo, and that's also what a lot of you guys were saying to go with. Fuel supply, we're going with Golf, because we've got very strong, and it's the cheapest out of the very strong double categories. You can see Total and Shell are more expensive than Golf, so we're going for Golf, no brainer there. In terms of the material supply, we're going with Lola, very strong on here, 15 million, saves us 2 million on Dallara. Brake supply, we could have gone with either of these, both very strong, but actually, technically I found, I don't want to click off it just in case it's a glitch, but I actually found by clicking the bottom one that I actually got more tire heating and still kept 5-star tire wear for some reason. So I don't know if that's a little bit glitchy, but I'm just going to leave it and not even touch it anymore. And on the battery supply, well, when it comes to batteries, how can you not go with Tesla? They're just the battery kings. 90% starting charge and a 72% efficiency. It's the best overall kind of concept there. 2.2 million, I think worth it. And so that's our overall car of, as I said, 5-star pretty much everything apart from tire heating, which is literally just half a star there. And it's going to cost us all overall 79 million. So we're going to have left a decent 7 million to start off with. And obviously we'll get some money as we go on through the season, hopefully per race, depending on what our contracts are like for the drivers, which are yet to do. We're actually yet to even sign a driver for the next season. I still have to work on a renewal contract for Leclerc. And at the moment, I'm in the process of seeing if we can sign on Carlos Sainz, who looks to be probably the best bet for us in terms of not too expensive and a very decent overall driver for a midfield team, which we definitely are. I think we're midfield, looking to solidify a midfield place, trying to battle Toro Rosso, trying to battle Renault this season, I think is the kind of aim for Alfa Romeo in this second season. But here we go then, continue on confirming. Yep, going to put pen to paper there on that and spend a cool 79 million on our brand new car. So it's being built at the moment, and so right now we move on to looking at the drivers then, and we'll get back to the design of the car. I have a feeling, I feel like changing up the delivery a little bit. Just a tad, but obviously keeping in touch with the Alfa Romeo red and the classic Alfa Romeo logo design, but maybe just switching up the color scheme a tad just to make it look a little bit different to Season 1. But yeah, our car's going to get built. That's going to be finished on the 5th of March. So for now, let's look ahead to our drivers. At the moment, we are considering Charles Leclerc's, he's considering the contract we've offered him. Sainz is considering his. At the moment, I have put in an offer for Verline as well, but I feel like we'll probably go with Sainz instead, because he is the better driver, and I think that's going to be the better way for us to go. Right, so here we are coming through the emails then. We've got a contract offer accepted from Leclerc. Sauber have signed Van Dorn. Madness. Van Dorn is on for a deal worth 6.3 million per year to Van Dorn. That's crazy, but here we go to the driver's room. We're going to accept this and sign this. So we've got Leclerc on an equal status, 414,000 per race, 25-month contract, so a long contract there. Qualifying bonus quite small, and there we go, signing Leclerc. So he's back in business here, and so the next order of business is hopefully Carlos Sainz. But there we go, really happy to be back on and back with the team. Thank you very much. And there we go. Contract offer accepted for Carlos Sainz. The terms have been met. Equal status, 608,000 per race. 12-month contract. So 12-month contract, so short one, so that could work in favor of Carlos or me, because if I want to re-sign Carlos for next season, he could ask for more if our car is in a good position, if we're in a good position team-wise, or sometimes it has happened in the past in previous Motorsport Manager career modes I've done. I can actually maybe get a better deal and go for a cheaper deal with him if we want to try and re-sign him. It's kind of 50-50. Sometimes it works in our favor, sometimes not, but a buyout clause of 0, because he's going to buy out his own contract. Signing on fee of 75,000, and you can see some pretty nice bonuses, but remember, I put the bonuses as he has to get first place in quali or the race to get that bonus. And the signing on fee, if some of you thought I got it wrong, no, I didn't get it wrong. The signing on fee, 75,000, lowest we can go for, and he's happy to sign for that because he's happy with the wage. So there we go. Sign on. We're going to replace him with Antonio Giovinazzi, the main driver, of course. He's injured. I don't want to re-sign him, so goodbye, Antonio. And we're going to pay out that 75,000, very small signing on fee. And this guy with Lorandi, we're just going to let his contract run out. We're going to go with the no reserve driver, strategy, because I don't fancy really paying any more. Because at the moment now, our wages now in total is going to amass to just over 1 million now with Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. So 1 million less we'll be getting per race. So you can see that's 2.3 rather than 3.3 now. So I don't really want to be spending any more on a reserve driver. But there we go. Carlos Sainz joins Alfa Romeo on a deal that's going to be worth 9.7 million per year. Construction complete on our helipad, so there we go. We've got that nice little bit of income now in terms of the 5-star sponsors potentially in the future. So, when these run out, we've got 4 and 3 and 1 race actually only left on these fixed payment sponsors, so that could come in real handy come opportunity time for that. All right, so Lorandi's contract's elapsed, so that's fine. So, I never really cared about that. We've got some more movements here. Helipad opened by Sauber as well. So Sauber have gone for the helipad. McLaren have done a deal with Austrian driver. Okay, that's going to last 3.1. Surely that will be for the reserve driver, I would imagine. Can I have a look at that team? Let's actually, you know what? Let's have a gander at all the teams, really, and have a look at what everyone's doing. So, we've got Alfa Romeo, of course. Lovely looking. We've got Force India stock with Perez and Ocon there. Same for... Oh, no. Haas have changed. Haas have got a Swede now of M. Strom, I'm going to guess. Is he the main driver now? Because I feel like it's always the 2 main drivers, then the reserves. Have they dropped Magnussen to reserve driver slot? That'd be a bit crazy if they did. Got McLaren then. You've got... Oh, okay. Obviously, since McLaren lost Van Dorn to Sauber, they have signed this man for the main driver alongside Fernando Alonso, and they've got Lotra as a reserve driver. So D. Kramer, I think that is. I've never heard of him. A lot of these people I've probably never heard of, to be honest. Right, moving on. Mercedes stick with Hamilton, Bottas, obviously, and stick with Russell, who as a reserve driver, who I actually am cheekily just scouting just in case. You never know. Red Bull Racing stick with Ricciardo, Verstappen, Vasseur. We've got Renault with Sorokin and Hulkenberg there, and Kobayashi is the reserve driver. Fair enough. Sauber, Van Dorn, and Verline. I like that lineup. Fair play to Sauber. That's a good deal. Van Dorn and Verline is a very cheeky lineup there, with Ericsson as a reserve driver. Ferrari obviously stay put. Vettel and Raikkonen, they're not going to change that. Barrichello's the reserve driver. Toro Rosso stick with Gasly and Hartley, looks like, with Galil in reserve. And then we've got Toyota, who come up to F1 now this year with Timo Glock. So we can actually say is that Glock in the race now. And Buemi as the main drivers there. And then Williams stick with Stroll, Massa, and Lynn in the reserve driver role. And then we get into F2 with Benetton, so we're not going to bother about that. But there you go. That is the face of Formula 1 in this second season. We've actually finished scouting. We got Charles Leclerc joined a modelling agency, so plus 20 on Marketability. That will help us out for the sponsors. And we finished scouting George Russell. Let's just have a little gander here at what his stats are. 2-star, but he's only 18, remember, and he's generally a reserve driver at the moment still. Fuel hungry, apparently, and apparently he's got a new haircut. So that's going to give him 5+ marketability. To be fair, I've got nothing against George, but he did need a new haircut. If you've ever seen his haircut in real life, I think it was needed. So, good stuff. 5+ marketability. Yeah, I mean, I scouted him just to kind of be curious about that. We'll leave that. I'm happy with the kind of dynamic we've got going on with the whole kind of just part-time reserve driver. We had to obviously use the reserve driver twice last season, but I'm hoping Sainz and Leclerc won't be getting injured. If they do, we might be a little bit screwed, but I'm hoping not. Here's fingers crossed, eh? Right, we've got an unreal opportunity, apparently. Toyota Racing have been in the news lately after one of their engines caught fire. The GMA are calling out their work practices unsafe. Opportunities coming up, marketing materials to exploit the mishap. So what could happen? So either we do... Wait, what's happening? We exploit the mishap, basically. We get +25 on marketability, -20 on chairman happiness, or no impacts. What's our marketability at the moment? What is it? It's 64. And we've got sponsors coming up. You know, that's going to get done in 1 race. That's 3 races. That's 4. What's our chairman happiness on right now? It is on... Well, we've got... Well, at the moment, it's pretty happy. So I could maybe afford to go down by 20, I think, at the moment, to be honest. So maybe I should go for it. I think we'll go for it. 25+ marketability is going to be good for us. So chairman happiness is going to go down... Yeah, not that much. It's still good. Job security secure, so that's fine. And that's going to come in handy when it comes to having new sponsors, hopefully. If we can keep that marketability there at 72%. At the moment, Sainz's marketability is only 45%, Leclerc's 95%. So at the moment, we can't actually obtain 5 stars despite the helipad. So you might need to do more work there. Can I do anything more? Tour Center could add on. No, that's just going to add some money into the fact. At the moment, no new building will bump up my marketability there. So at the moment, although I like the fact we signed Sainz, he is definitely he's bringing down at the moment our marketability overall, but 4 stars is still decent. Right, so we're just going through the calendar then, because at the moment we can't do anything. They kind of they did this a long time ago. They fixed that glitch where you could kind of go into the car and already improve the reliability, which I like, because it was a kind of glitch that wasn't that fun, because it meant that the reliability you could start off pretty damn good. I kind of like the season starting off quite unreliable and kind of just very chaotic. But we've got a dilemma here. So we either have +1 tyre heating, -1 tyre wear, or no impacts. As you can see by our car, there's no point in having that because I don't want to lose our 5-star rating on the tyre wear, so I'm going to go with no impacts. Too risky. So we go through the season then, go through the months. It's now February. We're going to move through Feb. Is anything going to pop up here? I don't think so. So we're moving swiftly towards March, and actually before we get to March, we can now design the car livery here, and we are approached for a modelling job for Carlos Sainz. We get +10 on the marketability there. Good stuff, Carlos. Good stuff. That's what I like to see. 55% on the marketability. Keep doing stuff like that, mate. Right, edit the car livery. Let's go on and design Seasons 2 livery. Right, so here is our brand new car for Season 2. So, you know, same design as last season, but instead of the white decals, we're going for black decals now instead. Black front wing, black rear wing, and then the best way, I fiddled around with it, but the way the mod's basically made to incorporate the Alfa Romeo design, the best color for the sponsors is just white there in the background. A little bit glitchy there, because this is actually part of the paint, not the livery, not the sponsorship there. But yeah, I like it. It looks mean. It looks a lot meaner than last season. Last season was the kind of entry level, and so now our car, second season on, looks a bit darker, a little bit meaner with the black decals and the black trims on the front and the rear. So there is Season 2, full steam ahead. Right, here we go. Pre-season is upon us. Formula 1 brace for pre-season. Here we go. Pre-season testing about to begin. Start testing. Come on, Carlos. Come on, Charles. Let's do this thing. Right, let's have a look here. Anything going to go wrong? Hopefully not. Gearbox issues for Valtteri Bottas there. Ooh, have we got issues? Is that an issue for us? No. Struggling with understeerers. Stoffel Van Dorn for Sauber. Same for the McLaren team there. Oil leak for Renault with Hulkenberg. Gearbox issues for Gasly. And struggling with understeer apparently according to Hartley. So at the moment, we got gearbox issues with Carlos Sainz. No issues with Leclerc, but gearbox issues for Sainz there right at the end. So that's a little bit unfortunate. So he's -6 on the morale there. Charles, though, very, very happy. But a little bit of an issue there for us at the end. But looks like Sauber, McLaren, and Toro Rosso all hitting issues. Even Renault as well, actually. So that bodes well because those are all kind of the teams we're fighting around us. So Scuderia Ferrari lead the way in pre-season, apparently. Pre-season testing report. Sainz was 21st. Leclerc 16th. Designers, mechanics are now ready to get cracking, improving reliability. Building new parts should be the order of the day. Targets for 2017. So this is quite important in terms of how much money we get per race. So 8th place we got last season. That's what we got. 10th is not an option. We're not going to go for 10th. 8th is where we got last season. I'd hope to minimum be matching that. 6th would be, I don't know. Is 6th really the next target? Because, okay, so we came 8th, and then I think it was Toro Rosso and... Wait, did we come 8th or did we come 9th? The top 3 would be obviously Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, Force India is up there, Williams is up there, then it was Renault in 6th, Toro Rosso was 7th, and then we were in 8th, so indeed we were in 8th. So 6th would be getting ahead of Toro Rosso and Renault, potentially. Renault were quite a step away above Toro Rosso, so that would be quite an ask of us. That would be quite an ask, so... and we're only going to be getting 0.6 million more for that target, whereas we're getting a whole chunk of... So I think we can live with maybe 0.6 million less, just to make sure that we're basically... Because if I go for 6th, we're not going to be getting that in the first 4 races, 5 races, I don't think. And that will make my job security go way, way down. And pretty much mean I will probably get towards being fired again. So we're going to go for the safer option here, 3.2 million. That still will leave us with a decent amount, because finances-wise, that'll mean we'll be bringing 2.6 a race, which is still a decent amount. And that's including my Fat Stacks high cost-saving measure for next year's car already. So I'm going to go with that. So straight away, we'll get going with the improving parts. Reliability is... pretty decent, actually. So we're going to go for reliability work on the engine. And what else will go, really? Gearbox will be issues, won't they? And the brakes, maybe. So let's do gearbox for now. We'll start to improve the engine. Start to improve, well, the gearbox as well, really. But we'll go more towards reliability there. Going to watch how that progresses in the next couple of days. See what that is. That's at 70%, 76%. Sydney's coming up pretty damn quickly. And we've got 81, 80, 80, 76. I'm going to remove these 2 gearboxes. Going to add the 2 brakes on. And we'll see how that goes. Reporting the upcoming race. Sydney, 31 lap race. 40% chance of rain. We've got rain predicted for the practice session and the race. Sunny in qualifying. Scouting facility, apparently, we need to build. All in good time, man. At the moment, I'm not really thinking about that. Also, we should probably get cracking on a new part, to be honest. So our engine's pretty decent, actually. Green, it's saying there. Although we can always improve on that. Suspension's pretty... 8th place, 8th place, 8th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 10th. So I think gearbox maybe is the first thing to do, really. First order. So 25 to max. Yeah, let's work on that. So 2.9 going to spend on the new gearbox being built. And we'll continue to look at the car. Where is it? Where is it? Improve parts. Hopefully that engine goes up to 80% by the time we get to Sydney. Here we go. Is it there? There we have it. 80%, 84%. Awesome. Right. We're going to just work on the brakes for 1 day. And is that going to be enough to bring it to where I want it to be? Let's have a look. It is 79, 81. That's a decent tally. Right. So we're going to continue to work on the engine there. Ooh, rear wing was really low. Rear wing was really low. Front wing's low as well. Right, let's work on the wings then over that period, and that's going to be for the next race. So we may need to make some front wing adjustments in the race, or, you know, before, when Leclerc got, I think it was Leclerc, or was it Gio? No, it was Leclerc. When Leclerc got points at Spa last season, he had a broken front wing, and he did that. So, you know, it's not going to be the end of the world, and the most important parts, I feel, are the engine, the gearbox here. So, anyway, Sydney, high tyre wear, medium fuel burn, 31 laps. We've got rain in practice. I'm assuming we'll once again be going for more conservative strategies, but since the start of the season, we'll go for a nice spread of tyres and see what's what. Part fitting wise, he's angry at the moment. Don't worry, Charles. We're going to split this through. So, ooh, this engine's a lot better than that one. All right, so in light of that, I'll give the better front wing to Charles. I'll give the better rear wing to Charles. Better gearbox is with Sainz. And the better engine... Oh, actually, you know what? I'll give the better gearbox with Charles as well. The better suspension I'll give with Sainz. And the better brakes I'll give to Sainz. So the only major difference is the engine. Sainz has the much better... That's a big leap in terms of engine performance. I don't know why there's such a huge difference between those two. You can see on this chart that Sainz got a better engine. Charles got a better low speed front wing. And then they're pretty much the same on everything else there. Right, so first outing then for Carlos Sainz in the Alfa Romeo team, and obviously Leclerc back at it again here. Sainz actually got 11 feedback here, so he might be pretty damn decent in these practice sessions for getting us faster to the setup that we need around the different orders. But sending him out there, and you can even see from this far there, the car with the black trim, it just looks a little bit meaner, even from a distance here that we can't even see the detailing. It just looks a little bit meaner, so I'm liking what we've gone for Season 2. Right, Sainz in, and that's his first little feedback there. So pretty good start to the brand new season for 92%. Good stuff. All right, so it started to rain now in practice. So unfortunately, we haven't even got over to level halfway through to the first level on the medium tires there. On the intermediates now, with Sainz going to send Leclerc out as well. His setup's really good at the moment. Looks like the rain might be with us for most of the session now, unfortunately. So I'm hoping maybe there's a little dry period so we can at least get level 1 on the mediums in race trim, because that'd be useful for the race, of course. But we'll send him out on little 4. Actually, we'll do 8 laps just in case the rain does stay with us. But both of them out now on Inters, but the setup-wise, I think looking good for both of them now. It looks like, unfortunately, the rain is set to continue for a decent chunk of this entire practice session. So, I mean, we'll get knowledge on the intermediate tires, but race trim's going a little bit slower at the moment. I don't know. It feels like it's going a little bit slower than it was on those medium tires. So I think that's affecting things a little bit. Although we are above level 1, but looking at the radar there, yeah, it looks like the rain's going all the way maybe to the end. I mean, maybe there'll be annoyingly like a little bit of dry spell for like 2 laps just at the end to piss me off. So it's not enough to get anything more than maybe just level 1 on mediums. But we're level 1 on Inters. We'll be level 2 soon enough on the race trim. But everyone on Inters, so hopefully everyone's in the same boat. Although there was rain forecast for the race. So we'll be kind of happy if there is plenty of intermediate conditions in the race. We'll have enough knowledge for that. But once again, qualifying, won't have too much knowledge. I think, again, this season we'll be going for more kind of, where all the points are in the race. Until there's a GMA rule for like points for qualifying, for like pole position or whatever, or just, general qualifying, then maybe I'll care a bit more. But generally, we've been able to make up time we lose in qualifying in the race in the opening lap, especially with Sainz's, used to be one lap wonder. I don't know what happened in the last couple of races at the end of Season 1. It just went away for some reason. We're yet to see how well Carlos Sainz has started. Remembering back to Season 1, it was kind of half and half. Sometimes he had a really good getaway. He was right up there in like the top 6 along with Hulkenberg in that Renault car, but that might have just been the Renault. We don't know for sure. But Sainz has just come in, so his 8-lap stint is just finished there, so we'll send him back out for another one. But 2 excellents and a great. We'll send him out for another 4-lap stint on the same set of Inters, I think. Or no, we'll go for a fresh set just to get the knowledge a bit faster, and we'll get level 3 on the race trim for sure. I don't know about the intermediate level. We might do that actually. If we do get level 3 on Inters, that'll be kind of I'll be then praying for rain in the race so we can actually use that knowledge to good effect. All right, there we have it, through to the end of practice here, the dying minutes, and we've got level 3 on Inters, level 3 on the race trim. We've got no levels on any slick tyres, which is very unfortunate, but it's going to make things interesting. Hopefully everyone else has the same sort of knowledge there, for the AI as well for the slick tyres, so it's going to hopefully maybe jumble up qualifying somewhat, and then the race, we'll see how the forecast goes. But at the moment, a little bit slow in practice there, but you can't read too much into it because a lot of people set times on dry tyres, whereas I didn't really push too hard on the dry tyres. So let's get straight into qualifying then. Looks pretty dry to me, so I think the weather forecast was correct there at least. Yeah, it looks pretty dry. So in terms of knowledge, well, pretty useless knowledge here. But I mean, we don't have any choice really. But good setup, so just go out there and try our best. Take qualifying, I'll send Sainz out first, give him the benefit of the doubt here in this session here. So we'll go for the usual manual stuff. We'll leave Leclerc in and try and wait for a gap there, but I want to do them both manually at least once to see how they go. Right, bringing the tyre temps down, feathering this. We're in, perfect overheated, so the brake's pretty bad. But as they come across the line, I think now's the time maybe to send Charles out there. He's going to be out with a Force India just ahead of a Toro Rosso car there. So a little bit of space, hopefully. He's not going to get it held up too much. Fingers crossed, although you can see the Toro Rosso is trying to overtake him, unfortunately, there. So you may have a bit of traffic. Let's see how it goes, because we're going to slow down here, so the Toro Rosso may overtake us. So that's going to be a little bit annoying, but don't get cold tyres. Perfect and overheated there, and he's going to get held up by a Toro Rosso somewhat, a little bit. He's not majorly going to get held up, but might do. Might do. Right, Sainz is coming in. We'll send him out for another run on the super soft tyres. I think there's a gap. I mean, there's a lot of cars coming in right now at the moment. He's in 14th. Leclerc's in 18th there. So you can see the speed that Sainz has got, the speed that we have got now with Sainz straight out the bag there. So I'm happy at the moment that we made a good signing for a teammate for Leclerc that he can learn from and try and develop as well. But both of them kind of quite equally matched, but on the star rating. But actually, stats-wise, Sainz definitely was a very good pick, in my opinion. Right, here we go. Ooh, close, come on. Right, perfect overheated again. Oh, this time we got very, very close. 1 pixel or 2, and we could have got perfect maybe there. But Sainz on another run. Let's have a look here. Is there a bit of clean air I can see? I think after, or actually just before. So maybe send him out now. Can maybe get in that pocket of air just ahead of Kobayashi there. So Kobayashi is actually doing qualifying here. So I thought Kobayashi was a reserve driver for one of the teams. I can't remember which one it was, but there you go. At the moment, Sainz set a white first sector, second white second sector. So no improvements there for Carlos, unfortunately, in P16. Bad lap there. Pretty lame, guys, he says. So not a great improvement there for Sainz. Let's hope that Leclerc can maybe improve. Perfect and overheated there. So at the moment, Sainz up in 16th place. 1 second off pole position. Leclerc's got 4 tenths to find here. So let's see as he swing through qualifying now. Green first sector. Good. There's going to be a green second sector as the final minute of the session is upon us. Green second sector. Is it going to be enough to bring him up from P20 on the grid across the line? P17. There you go. Fair play, Charles, fair play. 1 tenth off your brand new teammate there. P16, P17. Pretty decent showing, I would say, for the first qualifying session. P17 and 18 now as Lynn sets his first time there. So actually, we've had a bit of shuffling there. So the way I was reading it out previously in terms of how I thought the grid was going to shape up, a few of the what I thought were going to be the reserve drivers have actually been promoted to full-time race drivers here. But once again, nothing changes. It's Hamilton on pole position. He's pretty damn OP in this mod. So let's just have a look here. It's Mercedes with Bottas and Hamilton, obviously. Ferrari, Vettel and Raikkonen. Verstappen and Ricciardo for Red Bull. Force India have got Perez and Ocon still. Williams have got Felipe Massa and Lynn now, so no longer Stroll. Renault have got Kobayashi and Hulkenberg. So Sorokin's the reserve driver then for Renault. Toro Rosso stick with Hartley and Gasly. Haas now have Ekstrom, and who else is it? Where is he? Grosjean? Where is he? Grosjean, there we go. I can't read. Grosjean there. Obviously, us, Sauber have got Van Dorn and Verline, Toto, Buemi, and Glock. And then we've got McLaren with Alonso and Kramer. So once again, clearly, Toro Rosso have a decent car. And as Renault, actually, although we are pretty close to Renault, actually, just a tiny bit off Hulkenberg. So that's actually promising that we're pretty close to Renault. It's Toro Rosso that have still kept that advantage, although it has been eroded somewhat. It was 4 tenths at some tracks last season. Looks like it's about 2 tenths now in terms of the advantage in qualifying, at least. So bodes well maybe for the race, because obviously we know that we can gain some decent time with strategies and some luck there in the race. Right, so race time, and in terms of the knowledge, we're going for the intermediates and the race trim knowledge we've got. Though the water on track is not apparent in the first 8 laps, which is a little bit kind of half and half in terms of what tyres we go on. I'm thinking we just go on the mediums and try and go as long as we can. Try and go to the wet period, which I hope comes in around... If it could come in around lap 15, that would be ideal. That's literally when our tyres will start to go off. So that would be the best scenario for us. Obviously, that's just guesswork and, you know, hope, wishful thinking, but we'll go for it and we'll see. It's worked out for us before, so go pushing and overtake mode on the start here. Let's get into it then. The first race of this brand new season, Season 2 of the 2018 Alfa Romeo career mode. Here we go to 5 red lights to the Australian Grand Prix. We're underway, then going to go full out attack mode, and we'll use auto on the start. That new Tesla battery, plenty of ERS power to use there, so I'll let the computer decide for now if it wants to use some of that. Actually, you know what, on the main straight though, I might use that. On the back straight, I will use that, in fact. fact. And, oh, God, I think one of the Renaults got pushed out. Yeah, Kobayashi from a good qualifying. They got pushed out there. Wide, I could see that yellow car just going off wide. And we're behind one of the Toro Rosso now of Gasly down the inside there. I'll use ERS. Oh, no, we can't use the ERS yet. It's still charging up there. I never actually noticed that because I never really used it at the start anyway. I never even usually remembered to put it on auto, but we can't use it straight away. We have to wait until lap 1. That's fair enough, but 98% already charged up, so that's going to mean great stuff. But at the moment, obviously that lap 1 pace of Leclerc is really coming into clutch there on the first lap with 12th place now. Sainz is remaining in his position of P16 there, but now as we go across the line now, can we use this? Yes. We'll use a bit here. I mean, I took it off auto there. We'll put it back on auto, but they're still using it. So the computer thinks that we should use a lot of it there on lap 2. And fair play, actually, because Leclerc's going down the inside for P11 now. And Sainz has made the most of that. And he's up into P13. Fantastic. Up into P12, P11. Oh, my God. Sainz dancing through there like an absolute madman. Stabbed rat and a half up into P11. And Sainz and Leclerc now side by side with this is Ocon there trying to overtake the Frenchman. Oh, they go down the hill. And he's up into P9 just about. Come on, keep it going. We're going to use a bit of ERS here through this final corner. Just burst ahead. There we go. Up into P9. Lovely, lovely stuff. Right, I'm going to go down to high fuel mixture now. Try and save some fuel as everyone else is doing that. And everyone else is trying to also save some tyres. So we're going to go to neutral now. When's the rain coming? No rain yet. So we'll go like this. We'll stick it like this. Neutral and high. And then we'll maybe go neutral, neutral. But at the moment, P9 and P11. Good stuff. Might want to use some ERS though with Sainz here. So I'm going to go off auto for now. And as we come through to the hairpin, I will use some ERS to not only get away from Hartley, but also maybe try and overtake Ocon if we can. Here we go. A lot of ERS here. And charging. Not quite enough there. Back to auto. And we're still in P11, but we've closed up a little bit more to Ocon there. I've got Sainz on pushing now because I want him to try and overtake. Come on. Use a bit of ERS there down the straight. Oh, got a nose in there. So close with Carlos. That's close, that's close, that's close. Ooh, Ocon also closing up on Leclerc as well. So Leclerc's losing some pace to the next car is Massa. So I'm going to use some ERS here with Leclerc as Sainz gets now attacked by Hartley there. You can see in the background, Hartley around the outside of Sainz, unfortunately. And now also Ocon attacking Leclerc somewhat. Sainz still on pushing, so his tyres are going off a little bit. He defends quite well from Hartley, but at the moment, struggling a little bit. Right, coming to the hairpin. Sainz has been overtaken by Hartley now for a few laps. We're going to use some ERS, try and close up, but you can see also that Hartley's also getting on the back of Leclerc. To be fair to Hartley and Ocon, Ocon's on softs and Hartley's on super softs, so he should technically be closing up to us on 2 softer compounds, so we can't be too disheartened by the pace. And the rain is going to come around lap 12, it looks like, lap 13, so that will be ideal for us. I'm going to try and stay ahead with Leclerc at the moment, because if we can hamper Hartley's race, that'll be good for us in terms of him going down the order. And Sainz doing a decent enough job just to be at the tail end of the points there. He'll obviously gain a free position from Hartley. And if you look at the outlook of the race, we are 1 in 2 in terms of the medium tire runners. So that's good. Although, oh, Jesus. Strom, whatever the hell his name is, has just used a lot of ERS there and overtaken Sainz. So can we come back at him a little bit? Let's go pushing and try and fight back. Oh, no, damn it. Sainz got overtaken by Lin. What's happening here? Sainz just not performing at the moment, though. He's got decent tyre wear. He's got the same tyre wear as Leclerc, and we've been using more ERS with him, but he's dropping off a little bit now and pace. A little bit worrying, to be honest. One thing I will say is Sainz definitely is better on the fuel. He's minus 1.7. Leclerc is 0.69 just right about now. So it looks like Sainz, just like Gio was, is a bit better at fuel than Leclerc. I don't know if Leclerc's glitch with the fuel still there, but we've got Hamilton on inters already, even though the rain hasn't come down yet. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one from him. I'm not going to lie. We're up into 4th, though, with Leclerc, and 8th with Sainz. I really want to I'm going to push Sainz harder, earlier, and put him in earlier. Try and get a jump on some of these guys if we can. That'll be ideal for us. Right, so I'm going to go overtake mode now in this next lap and really push Sainz as the rain starts to fall now and gets a bit damp. Already gained 1 second there in the first sector. We'll pit in this lap. Inters. And we're going to go with park condition. Doesn't need any changing. Ooh, the front wing's a little bit iffy, but we'll have to wait for that. 100%. Pit strategy. We'll go for fast. We'll risk it the pit crew all nice and obviously rested from the off-season. So we'll risk it for the chocolate biscuit, as they would say. And we're up into 6th, though. Ooh, up to the 5th. Good overtake. Triple overtake, in fact, against Vettel, Ekstrom, and Hulkenberg. Right, we'll pit in now with Sainz. Leclerc continues on in 2nd place, and I will go to pushing with him now. Overtake mode, use that down this straight, pit in on the next lap into his park conditions fine. 100% pit strategy will go on balance with him just to be safe. But with Sainz, we're in for the risky pit stop. Here we go. Please, 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 no mistakes, guys. No mistakes. Nice, no mistakes. Good stuff. Pushing out. High fuel mixture, pushing out like that. There we go. Right, Leclerc's going to come in. He's gained 1.1 on that in-lap there, despite it being quite damp here. So that's good. That's a good in-lap as far as I'm concerned. And now he's in. And is it going to be a good pit stop? Please be a good pit stop. No mistakes. Awesome. He's out in 14th. Still ahead of Sainz. Still ahead of Sainz. And in between, that is Buemi and Massa. That's the new Toyota team. Where is Sainz? Sainz is ahead of Kramer, just behind Glock. And that is that's the McLaren of Kramer. I'm going to have to get used to Kramer being in McLaren and Van Dorn in Sauber now. But we're going to go to neutral now because the tyre temps have shot up for Sainz as I pushed quite hard on the outlap there. And we'll do the same for Leclerc. He's on auto. We should probably put that back on auto so he uses plenty of it. At the moment, though, Leclerc showing up his brand new teammate, and theoretically, according to the stats, Sainz should be just a tiny bit better. But to be fair, on star stats-wise, they're pretty much the same. So it's not that surprising, but I did expect Sainz to be a little bit more comfortable than Leclerc. But obviously, having that great first lap start, does carry forward a lot of momentum, I think. Right, so going through the laps then, as the final people come onto Inters, we've still got 4 people on medium tyres here. So Leclerc's in 11th, Sainz up into 16th place, up into 15th, make that, and stuck behind Massa there. Unfortunately, a bit of traffic down the inside, up into 14th now. So Sainz making his way through traffic, and now he catches Grosjean as well, still on medium tyres. Let's use the ERS to get past him, push away, and he's in 12th. Leclerc, meanwhile, in 9th, trying to fight for 8th place here with Sergio Perez, that is. His tyre were a lot better, though, Leclerc's is. Right, lap 18, 14 laps remaining, sit rep. So Leclerc's in 7th place. Ocon and Perez doing a fabulous job in 5th and 6th there. But we're 7 and 8 because, an 8th, I should mean, because Sainz has done some good work, overtaking people, and just the nature of everyone else when they pit, really, has meant he's there in 8th. His tyres are a lot more worn than Leclerc's, to be fair, because I pushed him quite hard to try and catch up and close the gap to Leclerc. 29, plus 29.6, plus 35. So he's done a decent job of catching that gap up. I pushed him because it looks like the rain's going to come back in on that 23, so maybe a slick tyre stint at the end there. So just as his tyres wear out now, we stick him on neutral medium, or actually neutral high, because we've got some fuel to burn now. So you can definitely see that Sainz saves the fuel faster than Leclerc. It should mean we're just coming in for slick, so I wasn't too concerned about wearing out his tyres a little bit. The only concern is maybe at the very end of the stint, you can see Ricciardo is gaining quite a bit there on fresher inters. All right, we're up into 7th place now, because that is Pascal Wehrlein who's pit. So Leclerc up into 6th, then Sainz in 7th. So looking very, very handy at the moment. And, ooh, that's interesting. It's going to nearly get to slicks, but then it's going to get damper again. So we may need more inters, actually. So the inters knowledge we got, level 3, is going to work out very well indeed. So actually, it may just be another pit stop for inters. So in that case, could be worth pitting in probably at lap 23 then, a little bit earlier. Right, worn tyres for Sainz apparently. He's on 30%, so I would agree with that. So, might be time to come in with him already. We've got Bottas on mediums, which is a very bold call. We're up into 5th and 6th now because of Bottas's pit stop. But I really think it's going to be into... Because look, it's going to get to full wets almost there. I think that is, right at the end. That's a bit crazy. That's very crazy. Actually, you know what? I'm going to continue on like this. Just keep on going and let's see, because I want to see... if that's full wets, and then is it going to be even more full wets? Because then it may be, I don't know, would it be worth sticking out on these worn inters then going to full wets at the end? Because it looks like, yeah, it's going to be literally the downpour and a half at the very end of this race. And so full wets might be needed right at the end. Okay, so it looks like, obviously I couldn't see you further ahead, but the pushing I did with Sainz, although it would have been good if it was going to a nice set of inters, things are interesting now because it's going to get to full wets at the very end. So Leclerc's in a prime position here because I think I can take him all the way to then pit for full wets a little bit earlier than probably will be needed, but he'll be good at the end there. But everyone else, including me with Sainz, maybe a little bit screwed here. Is Ocon, he's on 15% worn. Is he going to pit? Yes, he does. He pits in. I feel like I need to follow Ocon then. I feel like I need to follow Ocon and mirror what he's doing. So let's push in here, overtake mode, and I'll pit in. Do we go inters? Do we go inters? Oh, okay, I'm going to risk it. I'll risk it with inters on Sainz. Park conditions bad, 32% worn front wing, but we'll keep it like that. Fast pit stop. I'll use all the ERS here with Sainz, and I'll come in with Ocon because Bottas is just going to catch us here. No, time for slicks. No, ignore that. Ignore that. Keep on going, Charles. Keep on going. Right, pit stop for Carlos. He's out. It's a good pit stop. No mistakes there. We're on auto now. We'll push on the fuel, and we'll be pushing on the tyres. And let's just hope that works out. He's in 12th, though, so that's not too far down the order. Meanwhile, with Leclerc, 19% worn. He's going to overtaken by Raikkonen on slick tyres, but we're going to keep on going. Just a little bit longer, Charles. Just a little bit longer, and we'll go on to full wets then. Oh, no! Damn it, I watched that happen. I literally watched that happen. Oh, no. It was a gamble that was too much. My gamble was too much. It's too dry. He's lost control. I can't believe I was actually watching him when that happened, and he's just gone straight on there. Ah, I gambled too much. I gambled way too much. Ah, damn it. Damn it. Well, that's what happens sometimes. It's all up and down in the managerial role. But my gamble was too much. I was literally going to pit probably the next lap onto full wets to just go a little bit early. Not to be then. Not to be. Right, Sainz, you're in 12th. I really hope our strategy works out, my man. If it doesn't, we're a bit screwed. Right, it's getting damper again, so we're going to push. And we're going to use the high fuel mixture, use ERS down this straight, and we should be good for now in terms of pace. We're going to be catching cars. It's just about if they pit for full wets. Although we are back into 6th, so basically we're back to where we were. So actually that's no worry. If everyone pits for full wets now, it won't be too much of a worry for us, I don't think. So on that crossover period, it's in that crossover period. Is Ocon going to come in? No, he does not. Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Bottas continues on. Right. Ocon is in. It's still good enough for inters, though. I think we're going to continue on for one more lap, pushing. Overtake mode. And then we'll pit in for full wets as well. Looks like everyone's going to do that. Oh, damn it. Don't call it in this lap. Don't call it in this lap. Right. Use ERS down the straight. And we'll push on. And now we'll pit in full wets. We'll risk it on the park condition. Full charge. Fast pit stop. Yeah, fast pit stop. Right, come on, boys, come on. We're gaining 0.6 there. Oh, we're losing some time now. We're losing some time. Overall, we're lost time, but we'll probably lose less time than Bottas and those guys did on the slick tyres. We're in now for full wets. In. Do a pit stop, please. Yes. Auto, yeah, okay, good. We're on medium fuel because we don't have the fuel for it, but we're going to push out, and we're still back in 6th. So we haven't lost a position. That's good. We haven't lost a position. So still in 6th, and now let's see what Sainz can do now in the dying stages of this race. All right, final lap of the Grand Prix they're going on to. We've got plus 08 of fuel, so I'm on attack mode and on high fuel mixture. Let's see how much you can gain. We're 35. We're 10 seconds down on Ocon, so it'll be a huge task and a half, but let's just see. Overtake mode. We'll use some ERS also down the main straight here as we go through the hairpin. There we go. Use all the ERS. High fuel mixture, medium. Oh, it's a little bit close on fuel. It's not going to be anything, though. It's going to be sick. Bit too much time. I mean, we did gain about, what's that? We reeled in Ocon by about, actually, we didn't reel him in. We reeled in about 1 second there on Ocon. But still, noble effort by Sainz. Good stuff, Carlos. 6th place. Nice stuff. Good way to start this season. Really, really quite gutted. I'm really gutted for Leclerc. I thought that could have been the gamble. That could have paid off there. But in hindsight, maybe it's just too much of a gamble. Maybe I was gambling way too much on 15% tyre wear. But, you know, you got to go for it. When we're in a team like Alfa Romeo, where we just don't have the overall pace maybe to beat, on paper, teams like Williams, Force India, Red Bull, Renault, we have to go for those gambles sometimes. In the past, in Season 1, it worked out. This one didn't work out, but still got good points to sign. So overall, can't be too disheartened by that. So, guys, smash the like button if you did enjoy that race. I think that was a really good first outing for Alfa Romeo in Season 2. Right, so at the moment, those points put us in 4th place in the championship ahead of Red Bull and a decent tally over Renault, Williams, and Toro Rosso at the moment. So, good start. Obviously, you know, things went our way and things didn't go the way of other people, but, you know, we have to keep our feet on the ground. But overall, I think it could have gone a little bit better, but I think also it could have gone a lot worse, potentially. So, I'm happy with that overall. And also, the one thing I'm more happy about is the rideability was actually decent. Like, the front wing was a little bit iffy and the rear wing on Carlos's car, but it made it to the end, so that's all that really matters there. And more money comes in, 2.3. So, good to see we're still in the green in terms of earning money every single race. So, that is probably going to be it for the first episode then, guys. So I hope you guys really did enjoy that first episode of the Season 2 of the Alfa Romeo Career Mode. Smash the like button once again for the episode. Let's try and aim for over 1,000 likes if we can on the first episode of Season 2, guys. Let me know what you thought, as always, in the comments below. If you are new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.